Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Arun and in the series of Salesman to Sales Manager, today I would be talking about the period between 30 to 60 days for a new manager. So new manager here means any new manager who has been recently promoted and moved into the management, or experienced manager who has just joined a new organization. So if you would have watched my previous video where I talked about the first 30 days, you would have got a good clarity about what all you need to do. And if you have not watched this video, I would highly recommend that you should watch that video and then continue watching this. So let's talk about it, that what exactly is going to happen in the 30 to 60 days. I think it's all about people. It's all about your team management. It's all about understanding each one of them. But I will go into that later. First, let's understand that the hard work, the obsessive learning that you have done in the first 30 days in understanding people, in understanding teams, in understanding your peers, understanding your manager, understanding the organization as whole would have given you a lot of idea. By now, you would have understood that what's working, what's not working, what is to be fixed, what is to be changed, what is wrong and what is right. I'm sure this would have also given you a lot of notes, and through those notes you would have got a lot of questions in your mind and of course a lot of ideas that you really want to implement. Now what is itching in you is to go out and take action on those ideas. In fact, it's very natural. When I was a manager, I was very keen to jump into those ideas, that how I implement it and make a mark of me being present in that role. However, my thought and my suggestion to you is don't get into an immediate action. The reason is that, let's say you have joined a company which is a mature and a large company and you are replacing a manager. I'm sure you would have seen, if that manager has done a good job, you would love to continue from where he left, because you only want to add whatever that can help people to develop their potential, enhance their potential and achieve more performance from the existing work that they are doing. While if the manager has not done a good job in the past, then the expectation from you is going to definitely increase. And all this is possible if you have done your homework very well. In nutshell, it is all about the priorities that you set for yourself and not the speed. Because if you are not clear with your priorities, you would definitely end up committing a lot of mistakes, and a lot of time, energy and amount of money will go in just correcting those mistakes in the later stages. So it's important to set your priorities correct by doing your homework very well. Now let's imagine that you have moved in a period of 30 days to 45 days, and by now you have started getting into the work, you have started doing reviews, helping your team to achieve deals with the customer, and also meeting customers, doing your one-on-ones. And at this point of time, your management will start asking you a feedback report, that how things have gone in the last 30 days, how is your plan to move ahead. So I would only say that do give some time to it, but not too much of your time, because if you get into that, it is very difficult to come out of it. So stay focused on your team, because your core goal is to help your team, to empower them. When I say helping, it does not mean telling them. It's all about coaching them, developing them and not doing work for them. So how do you do that? How do you help your team to come out of that is the goal that you should have in the first 30 to 60 days. Now in the next part, I will be talking a great deal about what all you need to do to set your team, a performing team, a winning team, all that you need to do in the next 30 days from here. Now it's all about your team. Well, in the first 30 days, you would have spent a lot of time in learning about customers, your teammates, and the overall business. By now, you would have developed your network and support system, and also you would have got some clarity about building more trust and relationship with your team. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and create a strategy from the ideas and the questions that are running in your mind with respect to your team. Now, what all you need to think while you are preparing your entire strategy and plan. Number one, when you think about your people, think about their strengths and weakness. Think about their skills, think about their competencies, and if there are any gaps. Look at their performance trends. Look at and see that how well they are working against their objectives and their goals. How well they are doing against their sales target. What are their attitudes and behaviors? How well they are thinking about themselves. What are their goals? What are their aspirations? What they want to be? How do they spend their time? How well they behave with the peers that they talk? How well they interact with the customers? How much focus they are in creating a value in each of the customer call? What are their belief system? How do they think when it comes to creating more business? What do customers think about them? What do peers think about them? A lot of such questions should be in your mind when you are creating a strategy. Because when you have all these questions in front of you, there are two things running in your mind. One, how can I help them to perform better and be the best in their game? And number two, how can I help them to develop their potential to the maximum so that they feel more enriched and they feel more fulfilled? Now, if you have a strategy in place like this, you would be very clear in terms of your priorities that you are going to act with respect to achieving your goals on a long-term basis. And then I'm going to share further what all you need to do when you are dissecting your team in terms of categorization of A, B and C, because every organization will have people who are A category, B category and C category, and I'm going to tell you exactly how you are going to define in this 30 and 60 day period. So now it's time to take action. So after you have answered all those questions about your team, you have made your team strategy, now it's time that you get into action. But before you get into action, you have to first set minimum 2 priorities per teammate that you want to work upon, that you want to focus upon in the next 90 days with that person. And I'm talking about all this at this point of time that you have not met your team. It's all in your mind, it's all on your sheet that you are planning everything over here. The next step is, after you have set 2 priorities each, your plan is very clear in your mind. Now the next step is, you should go and meet your immediate manager. Go and discuss with him the plan that you have in your mind on the development of those teammates. You need to take those feedbacks from your manager that what are his thought process. But that does not mean that you have to change the plan completely basis on the feedback that you are getting from your manager. You need to incorporate and align your plan with what feedback that you are getting, the inputs that you are getting from your immediate manager. But you have to stick to your plan. After all, you have made entire plan based on lot of work that you have done, observations that you have made, notes that you have made in the last 30 days. Now once this plan is very clear, you have to then go and meet your teammates. Now this is the time, if you don't involve them, you will not get the buy-in from them. After all, it is for their development, it is for their growth, it is for their empowerment that you are making these plans. So you have to go and sit with them and make it a dialogue. It should not happen that you should be only speaking about this is what you thought. Make it a dialogue. It has to be a two-way conversation between you and your teammate about the developmental plan that you have for your team. Now, when you are talking this with your team, you have to keep in mind that you are definitely going to face some resistance. Now, before I get into what resistance piece I'm talking, let's go back to the point that I mentioned before, that you have to dissect your team into A, B and C category. Now in very simple terms, A means people who are very good with skills, people who are very good with behaviors, attitudes, and also are aggressively looking for their growth. The B categories are generally those people who are loners, who are good performer and can be shaped into an excellent performer over a period of time, as long as they are willing to take part in the growth perspective with your intervention. The C, now this is the most critical ones, because they are the one who are problematic. They are the one who are time drainers. They are the one, if you do not manage them, they can pull you down. So you need to have that bifurcation very clear and categoric in your mind before you actually go and execute all your plans with them. Now, having said that, having that clarity in your mind about the categorization that you have made, secondly, the plans, the minimum 2 objectives that you have identified for them, you are not here to make a huge changes in their entire thing, just 2 plans to stick with. And now the time comes that you have to sit with them, you have to talk to them and discuss each and every plan with them. This is what I'm going to share next. Stay tuned. Now you are all ready with what priorities you want to set. You are all ready with what your manager has given you the inputs, and go ahead to go with the team. Now you set up a team meeting one-on-one and make sure you sit with your teammate, listen to them, deep drill down, probe them better, push them back if they are showing any resistance. But in the end, agree on those 2 objectives that you have identified based on your observation, based on your experience, based on your real-time experience with them. Now, why this is important? Because once they agree on this 2 developmental area along with you, your path of success is already set. That also shows that they have accepted you as your manager, as your boss. Plus, they are also showing a lot of trust and showing a sense of relationship along with you. Now, once you are very clear with a plan ready with 2 priorities, you can always communicate something like this, that while in my joint work I have observed that you need to take some more effort in developing your negotiation skills. So I can help you to develop the advanced negotiation skills with some set of customers. Or it can be that your time management skills can be enhanced so that you can be more productive in the given space of time. Or it can be that your identification of new customers, new prospects can be enhanced better so that you have better customers in your kitty to get more output. Now, these are some of the ways that you can give inputs to your team so that they accept that as a developmental area for themselves. And once that happens with your team, you will find that people are moving forward on a developmental path to unleash their potential, to achieve their potential that they have. But having said that, as I mentioned earlier, there is resistance. You will still get resistance from people. People will say that I don't need a manager, I don't need your inputs, I know my way, and don't come in between. Don't interfere in the work that I do. So be prepared when you sense that kind of resistance, whether verbally or whether due to with the help of a non-verbal communication that you sense while you are interacting with them. But before we get into it, that how do we handle that, we need to also understand very categorically that who are those people who are generally resistant. Number 1, this is, as I said, people who are poor performers, who are low performers. Number 1, that they are themselves are not sure that they are poor performer or a mediocre performer, and that is one of the reasons that they don't give much priority or much importance of development in their scheme of things, because their major problem is their attitude. Because if their attitude is good, obviously performance will come. But the core reason is their attitude, and as I said earlier, you need to manage such people very importantly on priority, otherwise they will destroy your career. The number 2 people are, I call it them as lone wolves. When I say lone wolves, means that they say that it is my way, don't interfere, I will do my way itself, I don't need a coach, I don't need a manager. Well, in very simple words, everyone needs a manager, everyone needs a coach. You look at any top professional, they all have a manager, they all have a coach, and they have to look up for their development. So it is important to watch such people, that how do they react to your development. If their attitude is good and positive, I'm sure these people have the capacity and potential to grow and become a high performer. Now the third category is top performer. Now you will see that they are the one who are always looking up to you. They don't show any resistance, rather they have a they invite you, they want to come and interact with you, they want to brainstorm with you, they want to understand that how things can be made better, how we can help in increasing and growing our business. Now, if you start getting into this path, you will see very categorically how to manage the C type, how to manage A and B together. You will see that your role becomes easier, it becomes very clear, just because you have done the right effort in terms of building your priorities, because you did your homework very well in the beginning when you were identifying everyone with respect to people, teams, company, customers, business, processes, systems, and everything. Now, since you have seen all of that, now you are in a commanding position. So a lot of time, now think about a manager who has not done this, who is just jumping into actions and actions every day because he wants to prove himself. So initially he may look like a hero, but over a long term he will face a lot of challenges and problems from the same team. So in this period, that is between 30 and 60 days, 30 and 60 days, this is all you need to look into it. You have to strengthen your roots by strengthening your team, by understanding everything, in setting your priorities, getting things right from the first day itself, and be in control, be in command, because if your team is on your side, you can achieve anything. In the next episode, I will be covering about the 60 to 90 days period, how you have to put organizations as a first priority. So if you have liked this video, if you have understood the essence of the manager role in the 30 to 60 day period, what all they have to do, then I'm sure you would love to share your comments below. You would love to share this video with your friends who may also benefit out of it. And don't forget to subscribe this channel. Thank you so much. Stay connected. I love you all.